like that before. Okay, we're live. What?
I'll do
All
my normal laugh.
It's episode 82 of Electric Fancave on electricfeast.com, and we are entering into a huge week in pop culture geekery.
The
That
end.
is the extent of
Welcome to the podcast.
What? That's where we are this week. Kristen, I have news. I come bearing glad tidings.
What are they? Oh my gosh. Wait, should I sit down? I am. Okay, go. I'm ready.
Technically, you already know this. It's not really news to you, but I'm pretending it's news for you. I am ABD. I am all but dissertation, passed my oral exams. I am on my way to becoming a doctor, y'all.
Can I tell you something about this?
I
had coffee with the Froberg twins this weekend, and
What?
they were saying, "Oh yeah, Corey's ABD. I don't know what that means." I was like, "Yeah, I don't either," and I kept meaning to Google it, but I thought it's gonna be something I should know. And this lady sitting next to us goes, "It means all but dissertation," and all of us were like, "Oh, okay, so yay!"
I love that. I like that happens. That's a perfect you and the Froberg story right there. I like everything about it.
None of us
Nobody
looked at it. Kind of just wondered for like 3 days.
Yeah, just like she seems happy about it though. So,
yeah,
good for
so
her.
Congratulations. This is
Thank
very
you.
exciting.
It is very exciting.
Presentation. I remember you saying you weren't sure.
Yeah, I was a little nervous about the whole thing. Because I mean that's the whole point, is they're supposed to make you feel like nervous and like you're kind of like the most terrible person in the world and you did terrible work. So it's part of the whole ordeal. But I feel like now it's just like the levity is palpable in my countenance that now I'm just like, yay.
Yeah, I can tell you're ABD. That was a lot of SAT words right there. The levity is palpable in my countenance. We get it, Corey. You're smarter than the rest of us, okay? Gosh.
Cheers.
Have to acquiesce to this request or whatever he says.
I'm disinclined to acquiesce to
Your request. That's what it
means no.
Yeah. Means no. We get it.
But so that's where I am right now. I've just been like a ball of light and happiness for.
That's awesome.
It was Thursday that I passed this.
Fan cave people, if you're drinking, raise your glass to Corrigan Vaughn being ABD. Woo!
Yeah. Woo!
I wish I had I need like a cool cheers so that like when something like this happens, I can be like.
Yeah. Like how I always say
Yeah.
slancha, except cooler because everyone thinks I'm saying cilantro.
Oh, no. You say what? What do you say?
Slancha. I've been saying this for years.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't listen to you all that much.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's Irish for cheers. Gaelic word for cheers. Slancha.
There you go.
So you need your own slancha. We are taking suggestions for Kristen's good health cheers.
Yeah, I need a cool one.
Yeah, so someone come up with a good one for her.
I mean, I could barely come up with a sign-off one, so if you guys have a good cheers one.
That's true. That took like 40 episodes to get to.
And it's still, sometimes I forget what it is.
Yeah. So. Yeah. You can see the like fear in your eyes. You're like, what do I say here?
Oh God, it's coming again. Here it is.
Kristen, it is
cool. I just want to be cool like Edward R. Murrow.
I know, right? That's
like,
all we want.
I mean, I won't ever be that cool. I get it.
Good luck.
Yeah, and his voice was cool, and he would like smoke, which is like was cool. It's not cool anymore because it's bad for you.
But it still looks cool, like black and white.
Black and white, and speaking on McCarthy, and it's like awesome. And you're a cool journalist, and he was like, I don't know, and so I'm like, I need a cool one like that, but I don't have one.
Yeah. We're not real podcasters or broadcasters of any sort until we can Murrow it. That's really what it comes down to.
That's my dream.
Yeah. to like Murrow it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't even really know what, Murrow it means to come up with a good catchphrase, or Murrow it means to totally blow someone's mind.
Maybe both. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's situational. We can decide as we go along, I think, of
like
whether
we'll get fired with how awesome we do with our explorative journalism into pop culture.
Nobody can even fire us. We're technically already doing what Edward R. Murrow and Fred Friendly did, which is funding our own journalism because nobody is paying us for this.
That's right. I had to buy my own cookies for this podcast.
That's rough. That is rough. Anyways, Kristen.
Yes, Corey.
Can you believe what kind of a week it is?
Dude, it's been crazy. I'm really excited because I'm super stoked about like lots of these things. So.
Everything. All the things. So excited about it. You guys, this weekend comes November 20th.
Okay.
We have been talking about November 20th for a while now.
Remember, the 20th of November is what we've been saying.
Or we would have been saying, had we the foresight to do so before this very moment.
I just thought of that cool thing right now, we would have been saying it. Damn it.
Such a missed opportunity.
No.
Gosh. First and foremost, of course, as we've been talking about for the past several weeks, Jessica Jones.
I don't know if we've mentioned it or not. Very exciting. So I was telling Bree last night that I logged on to Netflix on my computer to watch something, and it popped up as like the banner is like Jessica Jones, and I was like, wait, it's on Friday. Is it out early? And I was like freaking out because I'm like, I want to watch it, but I really should wait because we're going to be watching it together. And then I realized it was just like a commercial. So it's like, add to my list. Comes out on, Friday. And I'm like, oh, all right. Well, that was less exciting, but also I was like,
Well, but yeah, we couldn't work with it because here's the thing, you guys, is this is an event. And so Kristen and our friend Bree, it's like Bree is like the invisible producer of our show or something because we like constantly reference her, but you never see her.
A producer?
Yeah, our producer Bree. That's her name from now on. Producer Bree. Yeah. Is how we're referring to her. So Kristen, producer Bree, and I are going to be spending our Saturday binge watching all of the Jessica Jones. But like this is an epic weekend because on Friday we're going to, Thursday Mockingjay comes out. That's another of the things this week, you guys. Mm-hmm. Mockingjay Part 2, which we're also super excited about, and J-Law is doing press and Life is Good. So Mockingjay comes out. Producer Bree and I are going to go see that.
Yes.
Kristen's going to see it separately on Friday. That's okay. Friday, we're going to watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is amazing.
And I haven't seen it, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, Kristen hasn't seen it yet, so we're going to do that. And then Saturday, we're going to eat from our favorite Santa Ana Costa Mesa eatery, Ritter's, and we are going to binge watch all of the Jessica Jones, and it's going to be absolutely magical.
Yeah.
I'm beside myself.
I'm very excited about this.
So you'll, if you watch our Twitters and so forth, I'm sure there's going to be tweets about like how much we love this, but probably just like mostly like vowels. A lot of like,
oh, that's right. We should tweet about it.
We should just look for it on Saturday. All day long, we'll be watching Jessica Jones. Watch our Twitters. Mine's at Nerds Rocket. Kristen is at K_lat. Kristen _lat. I was getting your Instagram confused with your Twitter. Kristen with an I, 2 I's, _lat.
Not at the Twitter. End though, Chris. Never mind. Yeah, you're right. Just you can
overthinking it. You'll find her. It's fine. We'll figure it out. And we will be tweeting about how much we're enjoying Jessica Jones or how much we're disappointed by it. But I'm actually not allowing for that because it's going to be amazing.
I'm honest, that's not even like a possibility in my mind, especially after that last trailer where I was like, the excitement level was reaching critical mass. I'm like, I can't get more stoked for this show.
Kristen, would you say it was palpable on your countenance?
I would say that. What's a really big word for excitement?
I don't know. I'm out of them at this point.
Come on, Corey.
I don't know.
It was palpable in my countenance of excruciating excitementness.
No, that sounds right. That sounds right.
That sounds about right. So anyway, it's gonna be. I can't wait. Like honestly, and I think I even said this earlier, but if all Carrie-Anne Moss does is like look at people with those daggers, I'm like, yeah, this show's totally worth it.
She's at Michelle Obama levels of shade. She's doing the thing.
Is killing it. And it's like literally like a nanosecond of her like doing it one time. I'm like, yep, that I want that at least once an episode.
Right? No, I'm for it. I'm 110% here for that.
Hoping there's some kind of voiceover action with Luke Cage because that voice
it is silky smooth.
Oh my gosh. Just so like it could lull me to sleep at night. I want him to You know how people get like white noise machines? I want him just to like read the dictionary to me or something.
Yeah, that's boring. ASMR is what we call that. But
I do that. Like Heather. Hey Heather. I don't know if you can somehow like incorporate that into your
little Luke Cage
your Dealio thing, but
we have ideas, Heather. Luke Cage and the ASMR.
No one else listens to us, but sometimes you do. So.
Yeah, he's on The Good Wife. He played like a villain, not a villain exactly. It's complicated, but anyway, every time he talked, you're like, I'm on his team.
Whatever. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's a terrible thing he just suggested, but I would do it.
I'll do it. It's like David Tennant's someone that has mind control, but I'm like, but seriously though, if Luke Cage tells me to do anything, I'm probably gonna do it. So
word. Yeah. So this is really exciting that this is happening. So
I mean, yeah, regardless.
Next week, we're going to be fangirling a little hard.
Obviously, the whole reason, because our jobs that we don't get paid for is to do this podcast, in order to bring you the best, we're gonna sacrifice an entire Saturday.
Whole day.
Watch this. So
whole thing. It's gonna be really rough for us.
You're welcome.
So Bree and I just binge watched all of Supernatural season 10 this weekend.
Nice.
So, well, except for we still have like 3 episodes or something, but binge watching clearly is a job that we take very seriously.
Yes, very seriously. Very serious.
It's an important
very
role.
Serious.
This is the cross we bear.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, internet. Yeah, so we did that. By the way, I realized like literally just before doing this that I forgot to post last week's podcast as like a podcast. I was like, oh, it's on YouTube. So it's there.
Did you get the links for the Benedict thing that I sent you to put on there?
I did, yeah. Okay. It was when I was thinking about like that link that I was like, oh, that was connected to something that I did not make. But you guys, I will post that as well. Last week I was not here, and Kristen and our Cumberbatch correspondent Lauren did an amazing job. So I would highly recommend you going and checking that out. And if you watch it on the YouTube version that's already up, you get to see Lauren's pop figures, which are pretty great. Her Pop Mycroft figure is incredible.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, is there a ghost? It was Creeper, I'm sure, right?
No, Creeper's behind me.
Uh-oh, oh my god.
Just gonna keep one headphone out for now.
That's a good idea. It's like when you go running, you always want to keep one out.
Right, exactly. Something fell down in the living room or something of that nature. And so I'm like, who's there? Yeah. As they say in all horror movies, who's there? No one says that in real life.
Yeah, because who's going to answer you?
Right?
The murderer? Like, it's me. I'm here to murder you. Just don't mind me. Just don't mind me.
Or like if it was someone who was just like there, they would have announced themselves already. Like, oh, sorry, I knocked that over, but that was me, your roommate. Yeah. They would be like sitting there silently.
Although maybe not though. Because the other morning, my roommate, I swear, I love her. Girlfriend does not know how to close the door quietly. So it's like every time she goes in and out of her, like, it's just funny because like we're getting ready in the morning. I'm clearly still sleeping. She gets up before us. She like opens and closes her door like to go downstairs. I'm like, I'm like, do you have like an animal that you're worried is going to get out of your room?
Like just leave it open.
And she like slams it, and then like the door to the garage is like a weighted door, so if you don't hold it, it'll slam shut.
Oh,
she goes in and out of that, it slams. When she leaves the front door, and I'm just like, I can't tell if I'm like being overly sensitive because I'm trying to sleep, or if she's like being really loud, But the other day, it was like, I swear, I thought someone was breaking in. Like something had fallen or something. It was like crazy loud. And I finally like get up and like go out, and I'm like, what is happening? And she's like looks at me, and I'm like, is everything okay? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. So I like went back and laid down, and then later she texted me and was like, sorry about the noise this morning. I'm like, okay. Like, what's happening? It was so weird. It was so weird. I was like, okay,
some people just make they just make an inordinate amount of noise.
I know.
That's what it is.
So
also, I don't know, maybe you're like me though. I'm such a sensitive sleeper that like everything wakes me up and feels thunderous. So like my roommate, my senior year of college, would like clip her nails, and in our dorm, well, they were like apartments on campus,
right?
Whatever. So it was like, I don't know if you remember the weird layout of Vanguard Center apartments,
they
but
were
the
super
sink
weird.
was on the outside, and then so like the toilet and the shower were on the inside of the bathroom, but the sink was in the room itself. And she would clip her nails, and I was convinced it was malicious because I felt like it was so loud. I was just like,
it's like Buffy, remember? And when Buffy goes to college and her roommate, she's like, her toenails, they grow after she cuts them. Everyone's like, okay, crazy.
yeah, no, that's seriously, that's me. It drove me absolutely insane. So, you know, it could be that you're just overly sensitive because you're a light sleeper. But by the way, hi, Sean. He said hello on the Facebook page.
But anyway, Jessica Jones. Sorry. Jessica Jones. Mockingjay. I'm excited because my friends, Jill and I are going on Friday afternoon at like 3. I only have to work half day. So we're going at 3, but we're going to the Big Newport. Which has the new fancy seats.
They have fancy seats now?
Yeah, which I'm super about because, first of all, like that's where we went to go see Martian, and it was bomb.com. So we got there like 5 minutes before it started on opening night. Didn't have to wait in line. Just like
it's reserved, right?
Because it's reserved. And that's where we're actually going to see on opening night to see Star Wars at 7 o'clock on Friday. So that'll be super
genius.
Fun. Be super full. And we'll just walk right in. Like, I'm so stoked. And there's like a big group of us that are going, so I'm really excited.
I didn't know they did this. This is like life-changing.
Yeah. And both Mockingjay and Star Wars are going to be in the big like RPX like giant screen.
I love it.
I know. So I'm very excited. Anyway, so I'm very excited about that.
The only time I attempted to go see an RPX movie was when we went to go see Jurassic World, and it was like so packed that we were like in the front, and Mac and I were like, peace out. So I still have yet to see something in RPX.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. I'm such a fan of this, like it causes a degree of anxiety having to like choose my seat and everything in advance, but then once you're there, it's like it makes all other movie going experiences feel like flying Southwest.
Right? Totally does. I'm like, I'm on that Emirates now. You know, that
exactly.
Jennifer Aniston. It's like, how did we live before this? It's so great. So I'm super excited. So
this week in the class that I teach, the students were giving presentations on exhibition spaces, so places where movies are shown, and they had to pick one somewhere to talk about. So like one group did like Cinespia, which obviously we've been to, and you know there's all these different things like rooftop theater. Wait, you haven't been to Cinespia?
No.
Oh, we need to fix that this summer. Good.
Well, I wanted to go see Die Hard, but then no one responded if they wanted to go. Remember? Not no one. You. I didn't. I asked if you wanted to go.
And I clearly don't count. No. But
you didn't respond, so I wasn't sure if you wanted to.
I don't remember. Okay.
Anyway, just finish the story. This is totally a side note and not important.
It is a side note. And what was I going to say about it?
Cinespia.
So there was this one group that talked about this theater in Bangkok, and it's like the equivalent in American dollars. It's like $20 to go in to this theater, which is a lot for Bangkok, but clearly not that much for here. That's like a typical IMAX movie or whatever. And when you go in, you're in these like little pods, and each pod has like 2 seats in it. And so you can put yourself with one other person. So it's not like you're not mingling at all in here. And they can fold all the way back into beds if you want to watch from a reclining completely position.
How could you see the movie?
I guess it's like just enough of a tilt that you can be like resting, like if you were sitting in bed with a pillow watching a movie, I guess. And then they have like complimentary foot massages while you watch the movie. Yeah. And free drinks and free food. It's banana pants. I was like, what? So like this group was saying that if you look at travel blogs, it was built in like 2012 or 2013 or something like that. So if you look at recent travel blogs, this is like now the thing that all the tourists go to and write about. It's like, you have to experience this. Go to this movie theater, you get a foot massage, food, drinks. It's $20.
Do they bring you the food?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You never leave your pod.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
I don't even want to go. I feel like that would ruin me for all of the movies.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is you can never go see a movie again after you experience that, I don't think. Like it was hard enough after going to like one of those luxury theaters in general to go back to like movieing with the proletariat. So
Oh my God, you and your fanciness.
Okay, but then I also
You're being
movie.
very bougie with your language tonight. Well, the proletariat is just, culturally speaking.
Kristen, all I have done all day is read. Like, that's it. From like, I woke up this morning weirdly at like 6 a.m. and I finished Felicia Day's memoir, and then I read another book, and then I started reading the John Krakauer book. And so blame whatever weird vocabulary comes out of my mouth on the fact that I have seen no people and only read books.
Aww. Yeah. I'm your first human interaction today?
You are. You are literally my first human interaction today.
That's exciting.
So it's nice. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And the other thing that comes out, two other things that come out this weekend on the 20th, also very important. For one, The Man in the High Castle, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, which looks super interesting on Amazon. So that full season is released.
I feel like if we have time, we should watch at least one episode of that.
I agree. If we're not burnt out.
Yeah, if we're not burnt out, I'd like to watch at least one because I feel like that looks so interesting to me. Anyway.
Yeah, I need to understand it. I want to watch it. So I agree. We should attempt to watch at least one of those. And then the other thing, Legend is finally here. The movie with 2 Tom Hardys.
2 Tom Hardys. What is better than that? 3 Tom Hardys, but I just think that's pushing our luck.
Yeah, then you're just getting greedy.
And really, are there any identical triplet movies out there that are going to be happening? I hope so.
If there is,
Hollywood, you got to make this happen. Please make a triplet movie with Tom Hardy. Oh my God.
We're ready for it. We're totally ready for it. Legend finally comes here to America this weekend. Although it's weird, didn't it? So it says it comes here November 20th, right?
Yeah.
Is that Friday or Saturday?
Friday.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking it was Saturday, and I was like,
no. The 19th is Thursday, and I know this because, fun fact, actually talked about it last week, but I'm going to talk about it again because you weren't here. 19th is the 152nd anniversary of the Gettysburg Address.
I know. I felt so bad that I wasn't here to, get excited about that with you.
That's okay. There's been lots of non-excitement around this fun fact that I think is so fun. And I've been telling people like I said, she was the second person I told, and she was like underwhelmed. And I already told someone else who was like, okay.
And it was funny because that same day I was watching Jeopardy, and one of the clues, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was essentially about this, general who lost his job, whatever, something like that. And I was like, McClellan! It's McClellan! It's like,
he was the worst ever. Was that the clue?
Yeah, the clue was this general was the worst ever in the history of ever. I said, who is McClellan? And so when you were talking about no one getting excited about the Gettysburg Address with you, I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You gotta know your audience.
Yeah. I failed you. In the words of Michael Caine, I failed you. So that happened. But anyways, so Legend is happening.
Let's just say this is going to be a great weekend. We're very excited about it.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell, we're a little stoked on this weekend. So the next week should be a very fun episode of the podcast. We're going to be.
It should be, because we'll be riding high on excitement.
I should see if I can get Avery here to balance us out.
Avery. He thinks we're crazy.
He does, yeah. So we'll see if we can get Professor Avery Holton, Dr. Avery Holton,
to get someone mellow. But then I'm like, or we should just get someone equally as excited as us about
this. That's true. Yeah, that's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult.
That's true.
But that person exists.
Do they? That's a good point. I don't know.
You were telling someone something.
That's why producer Bree is good, because while she's excited about things, it's like I don't know.
It's like a mellow excitement.
It's like she's excited about something by how quiet she is. It's like I'm like, my octave gets really loud and I start talking really fast, my hands are moving and I'm like, and she's like, and she's just kind of like, and then I'm getting closer in line. I don't know.
That was a perfect Bree face. So. You captured the brief face of the
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So anyway, so she's a good balance for the excitement. Anyway, it's gonna be great. We're stoked. But that isn't the only thing that's coming up, you guys. Well, this first one, not so excited about. I actually haven't seen anybody who's excited about this.
No, not a one.
I don't know if you guys have heard the news, but apparently they're remaking Memento.
What?
I've yet to understand the reasoning behind this. I personally have not seen the original Memento. Sorry. So I wasn't super super mad about it. It was more kind of like
just like confusion.
It was more of a confusion because I thought, one, it didn't come out that long ago, and two, I thought everybody was like, I guess because it didn't really come out that long ago. Was more right?
Yeah, and I guess.
Or I
mean, to me, it seems like remakes are coming so soon after the originals. But the other thing, I feel like if you're gonna remake a movie, it should be something that either was a long time ago, or that was like lacking something that wasn't already sort of like a earth-shattering idea in of itself. And Memento was really like, this mind-bending film that was so different than anything else that people had seen before. Mm-hmm. And to remake that, you can't capture that magic again, because part of seeing this and like being so amazed by it was being like, how can you do this? Right. How can you make a movie that is so chronologically, it's backwards, like how do you do this? And it was so startling to see this for the first time. And so for someone to try to remake something and capture like a magic that was a moment in time, the best you can do is make like a good remake, but you can't remake the magic of Memento, and so just to me,
here.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but you're making me feel magical right now. You're stirring me with your words, Corgan, and you're not even using the big ones. You're using regular small words.
Yeah. I was watching
we will not go quietly into the night. I feel like you should have said after that.
We will live on. I went to, it was the 50th anniversary of the theater that, I'm helping to run with my class this quarter, the Magic Lantern. And so last night they played Citizen Kane, which was the first movie they ever played at Magic Lantern. Yeah. And so I was watching that, and there's always talks about remaking Citizen Kane. And every time those talks come up, I'm like, what? Okay, there's no reason for that. And every time I watch it, like watching it, and this is the first time I'd watched it on like the big screen. I'd seen it in big classroom screens, but never in a movie theater. And you watch it and you're like, it's amazing that the conventions hadn't really been set and they created the conventions of filmmaking from that point forward. Like there are certain things that of course were already sort of in the ideas of how sort of the film art worked. But overall, when you watch this movie, you're like, this is groundbreaking. It's magical. It's perfect. It hits all the right notes all the way through it. It's an incredible film by any standard, let alone to think that this is a thing that set the standard for the way that we've made movies all this time since then. And it's like, you can't take something like that and just remake it and hope to capture that feeling that you get from seeing something that has created a paradigm shift, And so I always think if you're going to remake a movie, it has to be something that wasn't a paradigm shift. It wasn't perfect in its original form, Like you have to have something that it can aspire to if you're going to remake it. Although I'm trying to think like what's like a good remake, like an almost necessary remake. I can't think of a remake I like right now. Can you think of any?
I can't, but I'm like super embarrassed about it.
I don't know. Like there's no.
I really loved the Footloose remake.
See, I knew you were going to say Footloose, but you and I both know that's not because it's good.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I know, that's so embarrassing, but I own it on DVD.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it so
much. But you know what I mean? Like, the original Footloose is not a perfect movie. Like,
you're not a perfect movie, Corey.
Sorry, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to throw it out there. The original Footloose is not a perfect movie. It's, a teen movie that was popular at that moment, that kind of thing. So remaking it,
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, so remaking it makes sense because you're capturing a new teen audience, with a similar thematic thing,
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter that it's not like great either way. It captures like a feeling more than it does something cinematically amazing to people, you know? But yeah,
well, I think those of us who watched Kevin Bacon's, you know, like punch dance in the warehouse would agree with you. So. I mean, it was so good that Andy Samberg sort of reenacted it in the forest in Hot Rod. So.
You know how I feel about dance movies. It's really unfair of me to critique.
I love them so. I watched. Okay, so I was visiting my friend Kelly this weekend, and I was telling her we were talking about dance movies for some reason. I was telling her, I'm like, well, I don't even know why we were talking about them, but somehow Step Up came up, and I was like, oh, don't worry, I've seen like all of the Step Ups. I will continue to watch them forever. I see them in the theater. You guys. This isn't even like waiting until they come to the dollar. It's like I will see them in the regular theater. And then she was like, oh, I love Step Up. I was like, oh, have you seen You've Got Served? And she was like, no. And I'm like, what?
Oh, boy. Was it You Got Served or Step Up that had the fist bump moment that you were obsessed with our senior year of college?
The fist bump moment?
Are you serious? You were constantly referencing this cheesy fist bump moment in one of those dance movies.
This one?
I don't know. I do not watch these movies, but there was a period where you were like, you guys, I can't. It was so great and so bad. And now you don't remember what that is.
I don't.
What one of them would have had something that, was it Step Up or You Got Served that had something that came out our senior year? Probably both.
Well, both did because, I mean, no, Step Up came out in 2004.
Okay.
I mean, not Step Up, sorry. You Got Served came out in 2004. Step Up.
Are there multiple You Got Served? Or is there just one?
Just the one.
So it would have been a Step Up movie. It would have been a Step Up movie.
But Step Up 1 only came out while we were in college. Step Up 2 didn't come out until we were graduated.
Really? It had to have been senior year when it came
out. If it was, but then it would have been like, because I remember I rented it on DVD when I got my wisdom teeth out, and that was after we graduated, September after we graduated. So the most it could have been would have been like April or May. So it wouldn't have been that long in a senior year.
Yeah, that seems to fit the time.
I mean, there wasn't one little fist bump thing, but I don't remember it being like.
It's since worn off. The novelty's worn off.
Totally beside the point. Remakes.
It is.
What we were talking about.
We were talking about remakes. And I don't know. I don't know what a necessary or good remake is. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Sean says Scarface. Scarface was a remake, right? Was it? I don't know. And that actually made me realize, from my episode of Geeks Who Drink, The Departed is technically a remake, as is The Ring. The Ring is technically a remake.
And technically so is Snowpiercer, because wasn't that also a Korean film before?
I think it's still a Korean film. Was it something else before?
I think it was a Korean movie, and then they made it into an I thought.
Was it?
Who would know? Jerry would know.
Jerry would know that. Jerry, why aren't you watching right now? I meant to invite Jerry to be on the show today, and then I just forgot. Sorry, Jerry.
Maybe it was just the same director.
Yeah, I think it's just because the director is a prominent Korean filmmaker, and so that's probably what you're thinking. But yeah, so horror movies actually do a lot of remakes, like transnationally, as opposed to remaking things from. I mean, they do remake a lot of stuff, like Halloween and all these kinds of stuff over and over again. But
Cabin in the Woods, wasn't that a remake?
Was it? I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, because that was like so ridiculously like creative. I don't think that was a remake of anything. But so there we go. I don't know about Scarface, Sean, but The Departed is technically a remake. Oh, Sean says remake of 1932 film of the same name. Thanks, Wikipedia. Good job. So Scarface. I mean, but the thing is, I'm not super attached to Scarface, so I'm not a 25-year-old male. So it's not necessarily my thing. But The Departed is one of my favorite movies of all time. So touche, The Departed. You have shown me the error of my ways.
And Footloose. You've also shown her.
And Footloose. Clearly.
I love it so much. Okay.
Anyways, but this is more exciting.
Yes.
This is so exciting. About 2 of our 3 favorite Chris's.
This is incredible.
Chris Pine. A photo is released of him on the set of Wonder Woman, looking flawless.
He just is flawless. You know what else we should watch is This Means War. Let's also watch that.
Like always, just constantly.
He looks just, I'm actually looking at it right now. I kept it open because I love it so much. It's like he's pulling off that turtleneck.
He really is. So this picture is
He's got the leg.
It's like a period-looking picture, you know, so it's clearly something that seems to take place in the past of him and this other fella. And so the article about it is speculating that he might actually be doing double duty, which is almost as good as two Tom Hardys playing two different characters. What's that?
Keep going.
Oh, he might be playing two different characters, basically like the dad and son character.
Like he looks just like him, and that's why she has the hots for him later.
Right. So like the dad who he would be in this picture would be the one who like found her on the island and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then Chris Pine would later be like his son. Clearly she hasn't aged and all that kind of stuff.
Or grandson.
Or grandson. I'm not sure. One of those.
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever the case may be. He may be playing two different roles, which I am 110% okay with. I'm for it.
More Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And if he looks like it does in this picture,
into it.
Totally for it. So we will obviously link to that on electricfeast.com, and you can check out that picture and be as excited as we are about it.
Wonder Woman, I'm so excited. Here's the thing. Remember, wasn't super into Wonder Woman.
Right.
We're
too young to really be into Wonder Woman.
Yeah, my mom really, actually, which is weird, like she made this really spectacular costume. Like she could have been a cosplayer
in a Wonder Woman costume.
Yeah, I actually was really impressed by it. It's like she was very creative in her Wonder Woman. It was very good. Anyway, the point of this is, I feel like my mom's gonna be really excited. I'm excited about it. I think the pictures look cool coming out of Batman vs Superman. I think Gal Gadot is awesome. Obviously, she always has a special place in my heart because she's been Fast and Furious. And also, I just think she's badass and cool. So
she's amazing.
Anyway, that's the end. I'm just very excited about this entire ordeal.
Well, that's super fun too, because I feel like, especially, you know, you have like your diehard things and stuff that you watch with your dad, but this is like the action film that you and your mom can go see.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I kind of think it will be. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited.
So Wonder Woman obviously is a thing we're ready for. We're totally for it.
I'm really waiting for like a cool shot of like her. Maybe with Chris Pine, or maybe not with that. I mean, the only one we have is that one that's kind of
the one of her, yeah.
And it's from the Batman movie, which I don't really care about that. I want to see like the one of her, I don't know, doing something cool. I don't know. I'm excited.
I know.
Okay.
I just think she's super hardcore and cool, and I'm for it.
And she's just so pretty. Like, she's pretty.
So pretty. Gal, you're doing the thing.
Hey, Gal Gadot, if you're watching our show, we'd love to chat with you.
And Sean, I wasn't calling you 25. That was more of my own generalization of Scarface fans, like Fight Club. I think it's like, if you're like a 19-year-old dude, you're really into Fight Club. That's just like a given, you know? And Scarface, like if you're a 25-year-old guy, maybe 22, Scarface.
Oh,
but,
okay. That's weird.
You know, that's my generalization of dude movies. Yeah. But our other Chris news, we have a 15-second teaser trailer for The Huntsman, which I forgot was a thing.
Huntsman, The Winter's War. Don't forget the subplot title.
Right.
We also had posters, which actually I'm glad I clicked on the link you posted because I thought you were linking to the posters, which I'd already seen.
Oh.
So and so I was like, oh, wait, what? And so then I clicked on it. Okay, here's the thing. So, I was actually really excited before Snow White and the Huntsman came out because I thought it looked really cool. Like, was like pretty, first of all.
It is, yeah.
Charlize Theron looked banana pants.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie was almost super cool. Like,
yeah, I actually really enjoyed it.
So close, except for every time Kristen Stewart was doing something.
Yeah.
And I was like, like, it wasn't even so much her while I didn't like her in it, but it was like they made Snow White super lame in it, which I thought they were going to make her cool, and they did it. And so it was really disappointing because they're like, oh, Snow White and the Huntsman, she's going to be this battle. It's going to be really cool. And then she ended up being, like, her character was lame. Kristen Stewart was kind of lame, and I was super bummed, even though I thought Chris Hemsworth was like amazing. Sam Coffin was beautiful and wonderful, and Charlize Theron was a crazy bitch. Like, oh my gosh, she was crazy. So frankly, I also forgot this was a thing, but I'm actually really excited about it.
Yeah, it takes out your least favorite part.
Emily Blunt, Charlize Theron. I mean, this could not be a better movie.
Yeah, no, I am totally stoked on this. Because like you, I thought the other one like was it was on the verge of being a great movie, but the Kristen Stewart problem.
Like, lame parts, like some of the action I don't know, just some of it was so great, and
it was like weirdly long in places it didn't need to be, but it was also it was gorgeous, the film itself. Gorgeous. And the effects were incredible, and so
remember when they're in the creepy like swamp? Oh, so good. That was one of my greatest, that was that's one of those movies I would say one of my greatest disappointments in cinema. I'm watching it thinking like, this is going to be so cool. And I was like, this
almost
is crashing and burning and before my eyes.
Yeah, indeed. No, I get you on that.
I'm excited for this one. I think because also from the 15 seconds, Charlize looks similarly crazy. And I feel like they also whatever that crap what was going on in her mouth, I was like,
it's like insanity.
I don't know. And then I'm not quite sure what Emily Blunt's deal is.
No, I mean it's 15 seconds, so you're not going to get a whole lot out of like really what's going on.
Jessica Chastain though is clearly like his wife that has died. Remember that from the other one because it's like a prequel, and she's got the like
yeah, you're right.
Good swords or whatever. So I'm excited.
Yeah, 15 seconds of goodness. I would say it gets the Fancave seal of approval.
Plus, can we talk about the opening part where it like was on Chris Hemsworth and he kind of did this like half smile, and I was like,
that was for those of us that forgot. They were like, hey.
I was like, he's like, oh, you forgot I was a thing. I'm like, oh yes, I did, but now I'm not.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, GIF people, if you want to make that into a GIF, go ahead.
Pass it our way.
However you do that.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Let's be real. I mean, I watched the Justin Timberlake one like 18 million.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I sent this quiz to Kristen that was like, how well do you know NSYNC lyrics? And it was the easiest quiz on the planet. It took no effort whatsoever.
And there were like 4 questions.
It was when it ended, I was like, oh, that's the whole thing? Okay. Yeah. It was like famous lines from their most popular songs. But when you finished this quiz, it had the most amazing Justin Timberlake GIF, which I think Daniel Calderson phrased it the best when he said it looked like Justin was trying to change his relationship status on Facebook. I was like, that is
just those baby blues, and it was
it was glorious.
Absolutely, it was wonderful.
Glorious. Anyway. So that's what she's referencing there. So our 2 Chris's, Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth, 2 of our 3 favorite Chris's.
Good things in store for us. We're excited.
Yeah. Less good.
Okay.
Yeah. This is.
Sorry.
I am ready for a full-on Kristen rant because.
So here's the thing, and we're going to talk about the bait and switch as well. So you guys remember? Gosh, was it last year? I guess when Exodus: Gods and Kings came out, and there was this, that movie
uproar?
Was a thing. I was going to say uproar. I don't know. Uproar always makes it sound like it was unjustified. Like, oh, there's an uproar.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There was backlash.
A reaction.
There was a negative reaction to the movie, and we discussed it here, where a movie about Egypt, people who live in Egypt, Egyptians, and they were all white. And the only black people in the movie were the, like, thieves or slaves. And so we're like, come on, guys, it's 2015. And people were like, whatever, trying to make excuses.
Yeah.
So then
Ridley Scott's like, I just cast the best man for the job. I don't care about color. And you're like,
right.
Come on.
So then, like a week ago, they released a poster with this poster for Gods of Egypt. Sorry, Gods of Egypt. That's the movie we're talking about now. And the poster had Chadwick Boseman. So if you guys saw 42, what was it? He was in the James Brown biopic. Was that what it was?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Get on up.
Yeah. And so he was in those. So if you saw that, that's the actor we're talking about, is the main guy on the poster. And there's like 12 of him. And it's like, whatever that God's name is, like God of Wisdom.
I think it was Thoth.
Yeah, it's Thoth. And it's like God of Wisdom. And then I was like, oh. So I clicked on it. I was like, wow. Gods of Egypt. And it was like, oh, some thief gets with this god to help, whatever. Blah, blah. I'm like, oh my gosh, so cool, Chadwick Boseman, like, this movie's doing it right. And I scroll down. He's literally it's like everybody else. It's that guy
Nikolai Coster-Waldau from
is that how you say
Game
it?
of
Okay,
Thrones.
I wasn't even gonna try. I was just gonna say that guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler, Brendan Waits.
Yeah, Brendan Thwaites.
Yep.
I don't even know.
This other white girl that I don't know who she is. All these other people. Anyway, needless to say, they're basically Exodus gods and kings this movie again, where it's like, but which is funny. And I was telling Corey, I was like, it's like they thought we weren't going to notice. Like, oh, we'll put the main poster for the picture of the movie, the one black guy that we have in this movie about Egyptian gods. And I'm like, in reality, if you're going to do a movie about Egyptian gods, none of them should be people anyway. All of them had bird heads or wolf faces or cat bodies. Like, none of them are people anyway.
Yeah.
And so the point of the
and
movie
like the thing is, yeah, like before we get fully into this rant, like if you watch the trailer for this, because I watched the trailer before I looked at the IMDb list and was like, oh yeah, this entire movie is white except for this one guy. Like the one Chadwick Boseman's character does not speak. You see him briefly like look up. Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, he's not really a part of this, is it? And then there's like slaves in it and stuff like that. And they're all black. But all the lead characters are white.
Well, it was funny too, because I was thinking, and maybe remember when we watched the trailer for 13 Hours? And it was like being billed as like John Krasinski starring, but he didn't speak.
Oh yeah, but it's really James Badgedale who's like the lead in it.
I was like, so then at first when like he didn't really speak, I was like, well, maybe they're like 13 hoursing it, where it's like they don't think he's a big enough name. But then as it went on, I'm like, but this doesn't really seem to be about him. Now, like he doesn't even show up again in the trailer.
Like never. That's the thing. It's one like second. It's brief. Blink and you miss
and I'm like, when? I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it anymore.
It's just like really, it is 2015. Really? You know what people are gonna say about it. Like, really?
And it's set in Egypt. It's not like this is set in Scotland or
even in because it is gods and stuff like that. So it's mythological, but it's gods of Egypt. It's not like of some mythical realm that does not exist. Right. You know, like that would be one thing too. Like, oh, if it's gods of whatever mythical land, like okay, then people can look like whatever the heck.
Gods of Narnia or whatever.
Gods of Narnia, like they can be whatever they want to look like, but it's gods of Egypt. Come on.
At least. Yeah. Yes. Egypt, people.
It's like people should at least be vaguely brown. Vaguely brown.
At least ambiguous.
Your lead character's name is Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
His name has no vowels in it.
His name ends in a J.
Okay. Yeah. If it ends in a J, you know he's clearly like.
It's just so like, how many times do we have to say it? It's ridiculous. But at the same time, like there's the large group of people who are like, who don't care, you know, and they're going to, or even more so, they're going to go see it just to, you know, defend against the PC police. You know, they're like, how dare you point out that there is some sort of racial inequality here? Support the directors. White power. You know, like, it's basically that's what it's just shy of, is like people might as well be like white power when they talk about why it's okay that these kinds of things happen, you know. And it's the same exact excuse for being put out there. The filmmaker, you know, just had a vision of what the character is going to be like, so he would have cast a black guy or a brown guy or things like that if they had embodied the character. Like, that's not true. That's just categorically untrue.
Yeah, come
on. Who are you trying to fool with this? So, boo on you, gods of Egypt, for doing the same thing.
It just looks, and like they give Brendan Thwaites like a weird blonde wig,
and he seems like he's like a modern character stuck in this like period piece.
We multiples do it all the time. I'm like, also, are you British?
Like what?
It's one of those old Jesus movies where like Jesus is always from England because that's like some kind of soothing accent. I'm like, frankly, I want Jesus to be Luke Cage, and now I can't even remember what the actor's name is, but I want him to play Jesus because
Mike Coulter.
Yeah, Coulter.
Right? I'm for that. It's
I don't know.
It looks dumb nonetheless, is what we're saying, even if it were not made with all white people. But
even if we hadn't just watched Exodus, Gods and Kings, which I feel like this is literally the same. Gods of Egypt is the name of this movie. Like, could this not? It's basically the same movie.
Yeah. Well, I guess, you know, if the formula works, just keep making it with different titles. That's how you do remakes. Just make the same movie with different titles. So we're not. That is not Fancave approved,
no.
You guys. Oh, and then there's another. Well, this isn't exactly a remake.
This is a sequel, which could be cool.
It's
Sometimes they do cool things with sequels. Let's be real. So, came out that Ryan Gosling is actually going to be in Blade Runner 2. So they're making a Blade Runner 2. They didn't give any details on plot or anything.
Yeah, this is just the big news is he's apparently confirmed.
He's confirmed. He confirmed it from the horse's mouth.
From the horse's mouth, if you will.
So he is definitely going to be in it. And so I know we're going to talk about SNL later, but he's also hosting SNL for the first time in December, which I'm actually more excited about the musical guest his week. So Leon Bridges, I don't know if I've talked about him before. Probably not. We don't do a lot of music on this show. Leon Bridges is going to be the musical guest on December 5th with Ryan Gosling, and I'm beyond excited because I love Leon Bridges so much, and so I'm really excited. I'm actually
is that like a country guy?
No, he's actually like it's like you see him and you think, what era am I looking at? Like, is this some kind of weird oldies music, but this kid is young, like he's some kind of Highlander, because he dresses like he's from like the 60s and 50s, like,
okay.
And his music is like very Sam Cooke. It's just beautiful and fun, and it's like really good, like mellow music at the end of the day. You're like making dinner and you're like, I'm gonna put on some Leon Bridges. And
okay. Are we like in the like wheelhouse of like Ray LaMontagne or like a Sufjan or like
sorry, it's because it like sounds like oldies.
Okay.
So it's like an old school feel, and I don't even know if I guess you'd call it. I don't even know what you'd call it.
I'll have to check him out. I'll give it a look.
I would check him out. I love him. I think he's great. I follow him on Instagram, which is like also why I'm kind of obsessed with him, because he posts just these cool pictures of him in his like cool old timey clothes, and he's like always wearing like suits kind of, and you can tell he didn't come like he'll always post like, I never thought it. He played a show at the Apollo, and he's like, I never thought like I would be at the Apollo, stuff like that, or I don't know. He's just
like that.
Cool. He's rad. I love him. I'm super stoked to see him in March, so I'm really excited for that. So if you guys want to catch Ryan Gosling on SNL, make sure you check out Leon Bridges. Let me know what you think.
Yeah. Don't fast forward through the musical guest.
Don't fast forward through the musical guest. He will be good for your soul. I'm telling you. It's just music that's like, it's good. It's beautiful. He's got one of those smooth voices that's fun. I'm being gushy now. You just have to listen to him. I'm telling you, it's like a Sam Cooke kind of feel. Okay. You'll like it. You'll like it.
I like Sam Cooke, so I'm with it. And all that to say, so Ryan Gosling will be doing Blade Runner 2, and I don't know. I mean, I need to know more info before I decide whether I'm excited or against it in general. Yeah. Blade Runner is my mother's favorite movie. It's sort of a treasure in our household, So.
And I guess that's the good thing about it is that sequels aren't necessarily going to ruin anything, right? Because it's like it can always just be like,
Yeah,
you can always just forget it was
at worst. You're just like, it's weird that they made that.
Yeah,
and move on.
It's not like you're tarnish. It's not like you're gonna be angry because they ruined the best thing in your life.
Oh, my childhood.
Yeah,
you're like, they made a weird sequel.
They tried to make something cool and it wasn't. So
yeah. So you're right. That's worst case scenario, and I don't know. We'll see. I like Ryan Gosling.
Me too.
Yeah, there you go. And the final bit of movie news we have here is the one that like this is. I tweeted, I was like, this movie will unite us all, because I have yet to see anyone criticize this. Everyone of all stripes is excited. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2.
Yes. This is a sequel first of all, didn't know it was happening.
No, did not. It snuck up.
Second of all, didn't know that I needed it until I was watching it. I was like, yes, this is what my life has been missing. Because honestly, that's one of those movies where I forget about it and then it's on TV. I'm like, oh, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and I watch it and I laugh so hard. I constantly am quoting it.
You do quote it a lot, like regularly.
I feel like at least once a week I'm like, they did the bebopsy. I do that quote all of the time. Or when, like, this past summer, when a bunch of the college students that had just graduated from high school, so they're freshmen leave, going off to college. And anytime it was like their last time I was going to see them, I'm like, why do you want to leave me? And they think I'm a total crazy person, which I'm fine with.
Because they were babies when that came out. Yeah.
And this movie just looks perfect and charming, and all the people are back, which is fun.
Everybody is in it.
Joey Fatone is in it.
Yeah, so it's like basically they aged up, like the main characters have a daughter now. And so they aged her up because the movie was 13 years ago, but the daughter's like 18-ish and she's going off to college.
Although at the end of the last movie, she was like 6.
Okay, I guess that's true. So yeah, since they sort of...
She was going to Greek school. She was like talking and walking, so...
Yeah, that's a good point. So they didn't totally age her up. That's actually... She could be 17. That's about the right age. And so she's going off to college. So, they're dealing with the, again, why do you want to leave me sort of thing? Because she wants to go to colleges that are far away. Meanwhile, the grandparents realize that they're not actually legally married.
Yeah.
The certificate is null and void.
The most amazing, that was probably
reaction.
My favorite part. Oh my God. I thought I was going to pee my pants. It was so good.
You need to watch the trailer on our blog because... It's so perfect. I mean, it's so characteristic. The characters are all just back and they're what you love and remember. It's a great nostalgic throwback that feels like we need it. I think we all collectively breathed a sigh of relief when we saw this trailer.
Because it made my heart just like happy because it's one of those things where you're just like, I don't know, it's going to be one of those feel-good movies. It can't. And based on the trailer, I'm like, even if those were the funniest parts, like I just refuse to believe it. Yeah. It's already like on its way to being just another funny and like a really good sequel. And like, I think what's great about it is it's like, I don't know how to say, it's like the same movie, but not. So it's now the daughter is experiencing what her mom
It's kind of like Father of the Bride. And then
so it's like she's feeling smothered by her Greek family, much like her mother did. I don't know, and she's just dealing with it. I don't know. Yeah. It's just very interesting. So I'm excited. Plus, I just really love John Corbett.
Me too.
Just so like everything he's ever been in. I'm like, I just think he's really attractive and wonderful and like sweet. He just plays these like fun, nice characters. And
it came from like, I grew up watching Northern Exposure. And so I loved him on Northern Exposure. And so that like started it. And then I brought this up I was out hanging out with a bunch of people at a bar the other day, and I was like, I was always Team Aiden on Sex and the City. And they were like, Aiden, what? He's the worst. I'm like, what are you talking about? John Corbett is the best. And like, the best. I'm like, oh, sorry. Maybe it's colored by the fact that I just love John Corbett so much, and that's why I love Aiden. Like, maybe his character is the worst, but I don't care because I love John Corbett so much. And so I'm excited to see him back in this. Just like a tall teddy bear.
Oh, he's so tall.
He's huge. That guy is enormous.
He's just gigantic.
That guy has no business in Hollywood. He is way too tall.
It's like, how do they even fit him in the frame with other people? It's like that camera's got to zoom all the way out in order to get him in there. I'm just so excited. So anyway, we're very stoked about that. It's just going to be, it looks like fun.
Everybody's stoked on it. It really is like the one thing that the day that trailer came out, my Facebook, my Twitter, everything was just all positivity, which is so unusual.
It was. And it was funny because I shared it with you and Brie, and I was like, I'm like, don't even judge me with this because I'm not going to take it. I'm so excited. And then it was funny to see everybody be excited. I'm like, I thought I was going to be the only person excited about this, but
yeah, no, we're all on board.
It's one of those movies because I feel like that was a sleeper hit. The only reason I saw it was because Joey Fatone was in it, and then I was like, this movie is incredible.
You are the one person on earth who saw that movie for Joey Fatone.
Excuse me. No way was I the only person that saw it for that reason. Please.
One of 5. We should move on to TV.
Oh my gosh. Equally exciting news. Not equally, but still very exciting.
Pretty exciting.
So if you guys remember last summer, we were very excited about a little movie called Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer.
Good. It was Chris Evans and Jamie Bell.
Yeah, Jamie Bell.
Crazy, what's her face?
Tilda Swinton
being super crazy. Octavia Spencer being great. I don't know. I was gonna say regular Octavia Spencer, which is great. She's awesome.
Yeah,
anyway, it was a super fun, crazy action movie. I loved it so much. They're making it into a TV show, which I think is super interesting, and I'm not sure how that's gonna go. But I'm excited because it does have this. There were a lot of unanswered questions. I feel like there's, like, so how exactly do they feed all the other people on the train? Like this life on this like continual, they've lived on this train for so long. It just seems so interesting to me. Like as they were moving through the different compartments, I'm like, I have so many questions about this.
I want to know what's going on.
Can we go back? And they left so much unsaid, obviously, because they didn't really need to. I mean, now obviously I'm going to watch a TV show about it because
No, I think it's a great idea. I think there's like you said, unanswered questions. I think there's a lot of stories to be told after all this time on like this train. Because I'm assuming it's like prequel of like obviously, otherwise it's going to be a really lonely show. But it's no spoilers, but spoilers. And so I think there's a lot of things that we would love to see, like the politics of this train, and there have to be factions of people who sort of join up with each other to protect one another on this train. How do people become the ones who are sort of that like army of craziness that they face in the dark at that one point?
And like where do those people live? Like
where do they live? Who are they? There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of world building, a lot of character building that can be done on this train.
Which sounds stupid. I feel even stupid saying that. Like they all live on a train, so this sounds like a very small movie. Right. But it's not. It was such a huge movie for such a small space that they did it in. And I think I even said that it was epic. It was epic on a small scale, which sounds contradictory, but they did. I thought the movie was so well done. So I'm excited I'm just excited for them to explore. You're right, all of those different facets and all those things that I was like, but what about this or this or the kids in the school and
well, because that's the thing that gives you a sense that it's bigger than what we're seeing anyway. Because if there's that many children of a certain age on this train, there have to be parents for all of those children, and there have to be other children of different ages that are in there. So I think there's a lot that can be explored with this. So I think this is a fantastic idea. Probably largely, I don't know, because they just made Minority Report into a show. Maybe they're thinking like, what movies can we turn into a show at this point? And so I think it's brilliant. I will definitely watch the heck out of that show. Fargo's another one, which is a brilliant show. This last week, I know you don't watch it, Laddie, but
I don't. I saw you were very excited.
Yeah, I was watching it by myself in my house, and like 15 minutes into the episode, something happens, and I full on screamed in my living room. And then as things continued from that point on, I could not stop myself from saying out loud, "What? Oh my God, what? What? Oh my God." And it was just like, I need someone to talk to. This show right now.
Those are the best.
And I was reading like an article about like a couple of interesting articles about Fargo, one of which is like the amazing feminism of this show. I would also add that the way it has people with disabilities is unusual and awesome as well. But one of them was like they called it the structural audacity of Fargo, which basically they were talking about the fact that there's no real rules for the structure. So they can have something like that scene that made me scream 15 minutes into the episode that would normally be the end and your cliffhanger. And instead, here it is 15 minutes in, and then they explore like the consequences of that action for the rest of it. Like the climax doesn't have to be your cliffhanger come towards the end or anything like that. Like things can happen whenever. You can lose characters whenever. Like just because someone seems to be a main character doesn't mean they're going to survive. In the first season, I tweeted because one of my favorite actors, a Canadian actor named Sean Doyle, was in it. And I was like, oh my God, how come nobody told me Sean Doyle was in this? And then he dies partway through the episode. And I was like, oh, that's why.
That's why.
Like, yep, that explains it. Which I will say he favorited on Twitter. I'm sure he was sitting there like, oh, this girl's going to be so disappointed when she gets to the episode of this, the end of this episode.
And it's like 15 minutes later, it's like, she's just been like, damn it. And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the response.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I see why. But yeah, so it's incredible. And so movies being made into TV shows is surprisingly efficient and effective.
Right. Well, I think they're picking ones that have enough of a universe to, you can't pick something that's like really been overdone or that they overly explain because you're like, okay, I don't really need to know anymore. You kind of told me everything I needed to know about this. Yeah. That's true. But when they leave so much to the imagination, or if it's something like Minority Report where it's like taking place after where they're, why are you making that face at me?
Can you see the Q&A right now?
No, I don't even know how to get that.
On the left side, there's a bubble that says Q&A.
Oh.
It's I want to answer this, but I'm afraid that I'm going to be like inadvertently saying something gross. Baloney. I don't know. Someone just asked us, can you say this tongue twister? Babunky baloney unky dunky be blaboni. I don't know what that means. I don't think I can't say it quickly, TJHB.
Also, that's weird.
I know. That was so out of nowhere. I feel like this person's probably just going through random Google Plus chats right now and being like, hey, can you say this? And seeing if anyone manages it. So, hey, let us know if so. It's like that guy who can say that Welsh city's name really well.
I watched that video like way more times in a row than I probably needed to. Yeah. Like, for some reason, I was super fascinated with it.
It's weirdly intriguing.
It was really weirdly intriguing. Yeah. Anyway, in talking about TV shows, maybe that shouldn't be, I don't know, really the end of that sentence.
Yeah.
So I came across this category. I was on IMDb looking at something else, and it had this trailer for this new TV show that's coming out with Jennifer Lopez, of all people.
Yeah. And Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta. And it, LOL, thanks, TJ. It's very distracting. I need to close it. Anyway, and so she plays this she plays a detective who's apparently like kind of a dirty cop a little bit, and in a unit that's apparently very dirty. And Ray Liotta is like her. It kind of gave me the sense of, do you watch? I'm sorry. Do you watch Chicago?
Well, yeah, it's like Chicago PD, but bad.
But bad, where it's like they're not really dirty.
Yeah.
They just this like elite crew, but I feel like they were trying to make her relationship with Ray Liotta similar to Sophia Bush's relationship with Raspy Voice, whatever his name is.
Yeah. Michael Baggy. Jason Baggy.
And so, yeah. And so it's like this thing where she's like, I owe everything to him. Like, he's my mentor. I look up to him. It's like this big father figure. But then she gets, anyway, it just looks so terrible. And I'm watching it and I'm thinking, like, I've never even heard of this. Was not even a blip on the radar.
And it premieres in January. This is like coming up.
It's like, why is Jennifer Lopez in this show? Is my question.
It makes no sense whatsoever. It's the weirdest. It feels, I feel like these things always come out. Like there was an Ashley Judd show that I feel like was very similar. That was also like, I'm doing this for my kids, FBI agent type thing with all kinds of messes. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, is that the only motivation that female FBI agents have for anything? Is like, I have a kid that I have to do something about. And like this, from moment one, it starts with this scene that's supposed to be super tense, but feels like a bad film school movie, where they go into this place and like her partner kills somebody, but it's because he thought he was firing at him, but really it was the sound from a video game, and the blood looks so fake. Like it's just bright red, and like as the scene goes on, it's like dripping down him, but it's dripping like wax instead of like a spreading stain like normal blood. And like you're just like, what? I think, what did I say to you? I was like, is this like their budget for this was like middle class Halloween party?
Yeah, it was the best. It's just the most bizarre show. And so it's like basically the point of it is that she gets arrested by the FBI and they turn her into an informant.
But like he knows there's an informant.
He knows, but doesn't suspect her for because they're so BFF. I don't know. I'm just not. This looks really terrible. I guess is the point of this rant is I don't understand it.
Yeah, it looks. You guys, you have to watch it. Like it's one of those things that has to be seen to be understood because it's so like mind bending. You're like I don't know what's going on here, why this show exists. Like it feels like it's from the 90s. It doesn't feel like it's from 2015. And
that was the other thing too, because I kept thinking like, is this going to be on Netflix? Like it's coming to be on Netflix because it came out so long ago.
Yeah, like, oh, one of your favorite shows is back.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on? It's so bizarre.
It's really bizarre.
We don't know.
So that's the thing. Just watch the trailer and we'd be interested to hear what you think on this.
Yeah, maybe you think it looks cool. I personally don't.
It also feels very tone deaf to have like a sheer like bad cop show in 2015. You know what I mean? Like the thing about Chicago PD is it's all about nuance, and usually they're trying to like sort of do the right thing, but they get caught up in something problematic.
That I really wish I was on that show, and I want to watch it so bad, but I wasn't on it when it came out, and then I got too far behind, and now I'm like 3 seasons out, and I'm like, damn it, and they're not putting it on Netflix, and it's making me really upset.
Yeah, that is a bummer because it's really good.
I know, it
love
looks so good. Yeah, I just love Sophia Bush so much. I can't even handle how much I want to be her friend.
I love that like she's like Jason Baggy's little like sort of surrogate daughter or whatever, and they both have super raspy voices. Right? Just feel like that fits.
Like she's so cool. It's so awesome.
So cool. Yeah, and like she's a cool person in real life too. Like if you follow her Twitter,
she does all these really great things, and I remember
she's really philanthropic.
Super, like just rad, and I feel like she has like a good group of core like friends, which I think is really cool for people. And it's like she talks about like how these are like her people, and just having like surrounding yourself. I don't know. Anyway, she adopts dogs. Like one of them is like a pit bull that doesn't have an eye, and his name is Patch. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great. I'm just really gonna actually girl crush out really quick. Just let me go for a minute because I need to
just go for it.
She's first of all so beautiful. Brooke Davis is still one of my favorite characters of all time. I'm always gonna love her no matter what she does. So just gonna throw that out there.
I'm fine with it.
Third of all, so there's this.
Did you skip number 2?
The second of all was Brooke Davis. The first of all, all those other things.
Got it. All right.
Whatever. Anyway,
third of all.
I don't know. Maybe I'm doing that. A, C. 3, whatever. Now I've lost my point of reference. Okay,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So she's super, into education for girls, which is amazing and beautiful. And this was the thing that really put me over the edge. So there was like this really cute picture with her and the guy that plays Halstead, who's like adorable and just so cute. It's like a joke.
Aren't they dating in real life?
They are now again. They like weren't, but then they were.
They weren't.
Anyway. Yeah. So there's like, she did this cute picture with him, and I was like, oh my God, I love you guys so much. And then she had a picture with freaking Michelle Obama. And I was like, what is your life, Sophia Bush? Like, what is your life? You're so beautiful. You have such great clothes. Your hair is wonderful. Your teeth are great. She started this like eco-friendly fragrance line called I Smell Great. And it's like lotion and all these things. You guys, I can't even tell you how close I've come to buying it, even though it's like $45 a bottle, which I think is atrocious for lotion. But I'm like, you've almost sold me on it because you're so wonderful. And she's like, it's called Wild Honey. I'm like, I want to smell like that. I don't even know what that means, but I want it. I want it. And it's like, what? I don't need it. I just use like Lubriderm, Anyway, honestly, she could get me to buy like an old paper sack is the point of this. I just love her so much.
Yeah, she's amazing. All that say the J-Lo show less so.
Looks terrible.
It's
but
no
maybe
Chicago
watch Chicago PD.
Yeah, I think we just gave you an advertisement for why you should watch Chicago PD and not.
Also, Chicago Med premieres tonight, which I also want to watch.
Is tonight the premiere?
Yeah.
Oh, because I noticed it on the like TV guide or whatever when I was flipping through earlier, and I was like, "Why have I never seen an episode of this?" But that explains it. Tonight's tonight. Man, I would love to watch Chicago Fire too. But that's another one I was behind on.
I know. Me too.
I will watch all of the shows.
Hey, NBC.
Are related.
put all of the Chicago shows on Netflix, and we will watch the hell out of those shows.
Yes, we will binge watch that. Like,
I was watching reruns of OTH last night, so I kind of need some more Sophia Bush shows.
Clearly need a new fix.
You could hook a sister up.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Agent Carter's coming back.
Oh my gosh! Fancave. This is not a drill. January 5th. Not a drill. 2-hour premiere. Agent Carter. Also, they released this picture of her looking so fly, glamorous with the sunglasses.
She's magic. Haley Atwell is pure magic.
Do no wrong. I just love her.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. And
for Deb smashes off the set. Did we ever talk about Ember's hips on that one? I don't know if we talked about
I don't know if we ever got a chance to talk about that. Ember's
you guys,
hips.
So a while ago, I sent this video to Corey. So sometimes she'll get a little much. Like Haley Atwell will do like 12 dub smashes. You're like, okay, I get it. You like dub smash. You're clearly bored or in between takes.
Right.
But she posted this one, and it's like in this hallway, and it's Ember doing this like hip.
It's Uptown Funk, right? Isn't that what it was?
I honestly don't even remember the song at this point. I was so mesmerized. I was like hypnotized by this man's hips. It's unbelievable how good of a dancer he is.
Like outrageous. Like it's like, really, is there a thing you're not good at? And Virgil Kai?
Like, yeah. Come on, we get it. You're adorable and amazing and awesome. We get it. Also, your hips don't lie. They're incredible.
Do not lie.
Corey had actually posted this video on my wall that was like, so it was already our favorite, like, it was Chris Pratt, and he's like, it's a dance-off, bro, from Guardians of the Galaxy. Then it goes to Robert Downey Jr. doing a little hip action.
Yep.
Then it goes to Loki being like, I'll show you how to dance, like throwing, right? And then it's the Tom Hiddleston one where he was in some kind of Japan.
Yeah, it's like a weird, I don't know why or
like
what's going on.
Dance move, and I'm like, okay.
Basically, it turns Kristen into a Looney Tunes character.
Oh my god. The point is this, I cannot wait for Agent Carter.
Yes.
I honestly wish it was a Netflix show so it would just all come out at one time. But
watch all of it. That would be so amazing.
That's
all right. I wonder if it's going to be like as short a season as last time.
I think it is because I think it just shows in the interim of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I wish it were more. I wish it were more.
Me too.
That's okay. At least we get what we get.
It's true.
And another exciting, another exciting TV thing. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are going to be hosting SNL, their final episode of the year, Christmas time. I'm stoked. This season of SNL has been a little rough. I'm not going to lie to you. I am one of the few people who actually like fairly consistently watches this show. I mean, not one of the few people. Clearly, there's plenty of people consistently watching this, but one that will admit to still liking it in this year and not hate watching it, you know? But this year's been rough. But you put Tina and Amy in something, and it's going to be amazing. Even if it's bad, it's going to be good.
It can't be bad because they're going to have to, they're going to be helping write some of the stuff.
Right. Exactly. And
one or both of them will be appearing on Weekend Update. They have to.
They have to. Yeah, both of them. I mean, realistically.
It's just, I refuse to believe it's not going to be epic and amazing.
And they're going to bring in some of our favorite, like, old cast members, you know? Like, people come back when Tina and Amy come on. It'll be fun to see who shows up.
It's almost I mean, basically, you almost want to watch it for the cameos of who's just going to stroll in, what characters they're going to bring back.
Yeah. So that's a super exciting thing that's happening. And like we said, Ryan Gosling is also doing it. Oh, and the musical guest when Tina and Amy are hosting is the friggin' boss. It's Bruce Springsteen.
Literally the boss, you guys.
The literal boss. It's so that's exciting too.
I mean, if you're gonna watch one episode this year, I would probably. I know it's only halfway through, but I would probably say make it this one.
Yeah. Also, didn't it say Chris Hemsworth is going to be hosting another one?
It did.
Yeah, and he was great last time. So there's some good ones towards the end of this season. They're pulling out the good stuff.
They're finishing strong for December.
They're finishing strong.
I mean,
exactly.
But yeah.
So
we'll see.
And
then we have some really special news. Our friend Mel,
for Melanie out in New Zealand. This was specifically for you.
For any of you other Once Upon a Timers, this is also for you, but we know specifically that Melanie watches it. So if you haven't heard, Josh Dallas and Jennifer Goodwin are expecting baby number 2, which is I just think they're so adorable.
They're the cutest.
They are just like the cutest thing in the world. And so he even had this really cute quote in it that was like, yeah, like, or she had said like, yeah, we'll have as many babies as we can. Like, and then he was like, yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to have them close together so we can have a little buddy. I was like,
a little buddy? Of course, Josh Dallas.
Of course you said that.
In my headcanon, in real life, they are their characters, and they're just so cute.
They 100% are, and are just adorable. And she's one of those, I just love them. I just think they're adorable. So I'm very excited about it.
I pretty equally like both of them and think they seem like delightful humans, and just like, they are human Disney characters.
I feel like I really wish they were my neighbors because I would love to pop by, and I feel like she would be baking cookies.
Yeah, she definitely makes you cookies.
Like, especially when you just moved in. Oh, I made you this casserole. And keep the dish. It's my gift to you. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Jennifer Goodwin.
No, totally.
Would you like me to freely babysit for you? Because I totally don't. Your
and he
probably a dog.
He sees like you have like a kid and is like, oh, maybe I'll coach his basketball team, Like he's just like,
you wake up one morning and he's fixing your rain gutters. Like, I just noticed these were clogged. I was doing mine. I was doing mine and I saw that yours were clogged. I just thought I'd fix these for you. And I'm like,
he mows your lawn.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah,
thank you.
They're just a delight.
They are. So congratulations, Josh and Jennifer. We're very excited for you. That's a very fun time.
Yes.
So anyway, that's it.
We ended on this. We ended on that happy note for humanity. We get more Dallas Goodwin kids.
And you actually haven't seen their kid, but I'm sure he's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm sure. I have no doubt.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a given. But.
Yeah. So anyways, thanks for joining us this fine week, Fan Cave people. So glad to have you as always. And remember to check out all of the things that we talked about. You can see the links on the blog on electricfeast.com. And you can follow us on all the things Electric Fan Cave on the Twitter, the Electric Feast on the YouTube. Find us on SoundCloud, on Stitcher, on iTunes, and all the places where podcasts are streamed. And, if you like us, rate and review us because it helps other people find us. And if you like an episode especially, share the love. Spread it around because we love having more people paying attention and that we can chat with during this, who can give us weird tongue twisters to say and things like that. I really hope I didn't say anything super weird on the air as a result.
You're probably saying something in a weird language. We just didn't know.
Yeah, that's my worry. Is I'm like, this phonetically is saying something in a different language.
You've insulted the queen of.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know.
Somewhere.
For that, I'm Corrigan Vaughn.
And I'm Kristen Lutterell.
Peace out, everybody.
Take it easy, kids.
Woo-woo.